Hello and welcome to another Naughty Egg Draw. I'm Jake, and today I'm here to bring you a video on the basics of Animate CC. So in this video I'm going to be kind of taking an animation that you guys have actually seen before in the last two videos. It's just that intro sequence. I'm going to be doing some changes to it for another channel that's going to be coming out. It's going to be a Let's Play channel. It's going to be actually starting once this video is pretty much complete and I'm done with the animation, and those will probably be rolling out in about a week or so on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's get started. So as you can see here, I have the basic animation up, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going in and just adjusting things, changing colors, all that kind of stuff, maybe adding some different animations into it. And I'm going to start with the symbols I've created. Now, symbols I can go into a little bit more in another video. Essentially, it's an animation within an animation. And the nice thing about that is I can make changes to this timeline, and it'll be changed in this timeline. So I'm going to start there. Oh, not the head. I want to start on the body. There we go. And so basically, really all I'm going to do is change the colors of this to the gray. Ooh, that's not gray. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Gray. Let's go a little bit darker. You know, it's so bleak. So right now I'm using the paint bucket, and the nice thing about the paint bucket in here, or the nice thing about Animate CC in general, is actually that it runs in a vector-based system, so everything is really clean. All the lines are nice and sharp. So you don't get some of that anti-aliasing that you get in Photoshop all the time. Alright, so I think those are the three forms of the body that I've created. You know what? I'm going to go in and draw a happy little controller on my chest. As you guys can see right there, with Animate, ooh, that's bad. With Animate, it makes the really clean lines. So yeah, I'll just do it on the side real quick. So go like this. It's a little rough, and it'll actually go in there and it'll clean up the lines. And it works off a vector-based system instead of a pixel-based system. So with that, it's kind of nice, you know. So I can go in, and sometimes you can be a little, I find I can be a little freer when I am using the vector-based system, because it'll kind of fix some of the stuff, any of the mistakes that you kind of make. Not always, just sometimes. I'm not liking this. I'm gonna do this. That's why I don't have my pressure sensitive on. So this is just like Photoshop. It has the pressure sensitive system on it, just like that one. And all you have to do is hit this little button right over here, and then you can start going from there. Alright, so we're back from that fast forward, and now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into the head, and I'm going to change the color of the hat. So I want a green hat, so I'm going to go in now, and we're basically be doing the same thing that we did with the shirt. Pick this green. I'm going to go in, and gonna give it different color, change it through, and with this I'm gonna kind of show you a quick little trick. So since I did this in separate sections, I actually use the same heads. So I'm actually gonna do a Control copy. And I'm going to find where that one was again. It looks like this is the same head, just flipped. So I'm going to delete this. And then if you hit Control-Shift-V, it'll put it exactly where it was before, or it puts it exactly where it was on the previous layer you copied it from. So now I'm just going to have to right-click on that, and then transform and flip horizontally. All right. And I'm going to do the rest of this in fast forward. Alright, so we are back again. As you can see, I finished the headpiece now. Everything is green on the cap. Those are the only changes I really wanted to do on that part. So the rest of this, actually, I have a lot I need to kind of go in and just animate, or change colors of, and it's the arm pieces. That arm section I actually did all by doing frame by frame animation, so each arm piece has its own animation, so that part's actually going to take a little while. So I'm actually go in there and do that part in fast forward, pretty fast forward as well, because as you can see, we got these sections right here. Each one of those is just another layer that I have to animate, scrub up all the way to the arms. So we got the arms, the hands, all that kind of stuff, and all of these dots are different keyframes. Alright, so I'm back after doing a quick save there, and my hand's a little sore from that last section, but pretty much everything's done as far as editing the older version now. Let's just double check. It looks like I got everything taken care of there. So now, basically what I'm going to do is the section right, it hits the button. That's where everything I want to start changing a bit. So I went in and I made a quick couple models of what I want to add to this. So I'm going to go to File, Import, and then go into, I like importing it to Library. Let's see. So I'm going to go in and, oh, I saved that one as a Photoshop file. Save that as a PNG. Save as. There we go. So I got my controller and the exploding ball. And so basically what's going to happen is it's going to hit the button and a controller is going to come down and it's actually going to crush them. It's going to kind of do that old school when you explode in a video game exploding ball effect. So let's re-import that now to library. No, I'll just replace it. That's fine. controller. Edit's big. So for that, you're going to go up to this button right here. It's the free transform tool, or Q. And then I'm going to scale it down quite a bit. Does that look big enough to crush him? That looks good. Okay, so we're going to import that. Actually, made a little amateur mistake there. So I'm going to make a new layer. I don't think I've actually talked about layers in here. So this is where the layers are. Each one of these are their own layers. When I click on that, it's going to make a new layer. This one's going to go on top of everything because it's going to kind of pass over everything. So everything, if it's on the top layer, everything behind it is going to be hidden by that image. And everything below it is, everything below it is going to be hidden by that top image. So this is going to be controller, and then explosion. Alright, so now I'm on controller. Now let's re-import that. There we go. And so you may have noticed in the timeline there's different sections, like these little balls that are the keyframes that aren't colored in, and then the keyframes that are. If it's something that's not colored in, that means there's nothing drawn on in that layer. If it has the black dot and it's a lighter gray, that means that there is something that's in that image, in that section of the keyframe, that actually has a drawing in it or a file in it. As like this one, the controller is a file instead of an actual drawing. And it looks like my autosave, don't crash on me, don't crash, it's not responding. Oh, come on. Oh, the joys of sometimes the autosave. For some reason my computer doesn't like the autosave's recovery system. I mean, I love the fact that it has that, but it always wants to crash every time it goes to that. Okay, so where is he hitting the button? Boom, right here. So this is where I want to make my keyframe. So you can either go in and right click and insert keyframe, or the shortcut for that is F6. And I'm going to delete everything behind it. So this is when the controller is going to actually come in. And so let's see, F6. Alright, so I'm going to show you a fun little tool. This little section right here, this is called onion skinning. This is a really traditional style option that you have. It's kind of like when you used to see animators, they would flip back and forth on their images and see what was on the previous layer before it. That's what this does. So now you can see this blue section right here, and that's where it previously was before. So I'm going to if you hold shift while you're moving, it actually moves it in an X and Y straight line. So I'm holding it down, and it's going to go straight down from where it was previously. And F6. And F6. Alright, so that's about where I want that to be. So let's see. Explosion is going to happen about right here. So we're going to do F6 there, and then exploding ball. I'm going to make this a little bit more condensed. Alright, so I finished up with that. I know I said I was actually going to add like a reaction to him or trying to catch it, but I actually kind of like the whole aspect of like the unknown. Like he has no idea he hits the button and all of a sudden this controller just comes down and crushes them. I think it's a little bit more impactful to me at least. So I think I'm actually going to keep it like this. I actually like the way this turned out. So here's the finished version of this. So if you ever want to see like your playback version of the stuff that you just made, you hit Control and then Enter. Oh, why is it? Oh, that's why. Hit Control and Enter, and it's going to export as a SWF. Sorry, it's going to export as SWF. Then it's going to show you the whole animation in like a full screen like this. So I like it. Yeah, I like the way it turned out. Alright, so if you guys like this video and you kind of want to see more, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, make sure you leave that below. Maybe things I can go over, maybe some things I missed in this video. I know I kind of glazed over certain things and talked about other things probably longer. But yeah, make sure to come back for upcoming videos. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.